What would you say sort of led to the exit of Innovation Doc, and what did you want to do differently when founding FOMO?
At that time, in 2019, me and Nils Henrik was seeking out opportunities, and we saw that like Forus, which is a huge area, business area and region with 45,000 people working. We saw that could be a potential opening some sort of a co-working space in that area. We started looking at different premises. But our mindset was set on an innovation dock model, which were based on space that were around 2,000 square meters. Mm-hmm. So it's not a huge space. And because of our success, I think your mindset is sort of like keeping you back on thinking bigger. Even though we teach everyone else to just think big, and that's the thing. When you are challenged to do that yourself, it's not always that easy. Because thinking big, you also need to have a big wallet. Yeah. We didn't have that, so you just see a lot of obstacles on how could we build something even bigger. So we were starting looking at office spaces that was around 2,000 square meters, which we thought would be like affordable for us to buy and to start building. And during that time, we got in contact with two guys in Forus that Nils Henrik met. So it's a quite interesting story. He was around at Forus, which is this industrial area, and he met up with 3 other buildings that they went to look at, and one of them was this building that turned out to be a FOMO. And when he went there, he came back and he said, well, these guys that have bought a huge office building at Forus, it's like 35,000 square meters. It's completely empty. Equinor used to rent the whole premises that they moved out 4 years ago. There's no one there. These guys are fucked. Like they will lose all their money. Like how in the world can they manage to rent out this huge building? It's like impossible, and it looks like shit. And okay, so you didn't find anything that was interesting? No, not really. But they had a lot of office desks that was left over from Equinor. Maybe we could buy those cheap, so we could get we could save some money on our next project. These 2 guys, Vidar Rosland and Ola Soppland, they would not give up. They really wanted to have Innovation Dock as a partner on their huge office building. They just started calling, and in the end, we set up a meeting, and they came to Innovation Dock, and I met them for the first time. I had still not been in the building. I just heard from Nils Henrik that the building's shit. They came in and was like, we really want to build this with you guys. You can get 50% of the whole building if you want to join us. And it was like a really good offer. And we were like, wow, this is too good to be true. We're talking tens of hundreds of millions, maybe, if this could succeed. But it looks almost impossible. How can you fill this? It's too big. And they said, oh, you have to come and see. Okay, so I came out and had a look, and we went through the whole building. And the first thing that struck me is wow, here's the technical qualities here are really good. Equinor have upgraded all these electrical networks, everything ventilation, everything of the technical stuff. That's really the thing that costs a lot of money when you're in a construction product. Those things were really good. It looked like shit, but the technical things were good. And I came into this huge atrium where the heart of the whole building was 20 meters under the ceiling. It was 10 times 50 meters big. And we were standing there and looking out, and we were just saying, okay, this is our indoor street. This is here we can make a new downtown, if we will. I just had a lot of ideas. And I think that's how my brain is different than a lot of other people. Because at that time, a lot of investors have been checking out and doing a due diligence on this building, and everyone came back with the same conclusion: this is the worst thing that you can possibly buy in our region at the moment. Everyone was agreeing on that, and especially that big atrium in the middle. That was the worst part, because it's you can't use it for anything. It's just costly, common area that you have to put on the rent. for all the tenants, and they would not like that. So you would get a high rent with less quality, and yeah, they had a lot of arguments. But I saw that, wow, this could be like, there's some gold here. You just have to dig it out. And Nils Henrik at the time, he had 2 kids, and I think when we started like going through the numbers, we saw that, okay, it's a huge risk. We have to invest 5 million, like 500,000 US of our own money into this project if we want to make it happen. And I think we both agreed that this is going to be a dangerous journey. We could like lose everything. We saw that, okay, Nils Henrik would be the right person to take Innovation Dock further. And I could, with my knowledge on constructing and technical things, FOMO would be like, that building would be a more better fit for me at the time. We were finished like with building Innovation Dock. All the construction that we've done that I had been managing was like come to an end. So we agreed, and Nils Henrik bought my shares in Innovation Dock. So he got the whole company, and I spent almost most of that money putting into FOMO, what would become FOMO. And at that time, I didn't like own my own apartment. I didn't have a lot of like savings, anything. And I was 30. I thought that, okay, this is like a all-in opportunity. Yeah. If you go all in with this, and if I actually succeed, I could make maybe between 10 and 25 million US. And that's the upside. The downside is that I would lose 500,000 US. But I'm still just 30. If I spend another 10, 20 years working, I could make that money back. But if I succeed in the next 5 years, making like 100 times that, I don't have to work the rest of my life. So would I take the chance? Yes or no? And I've always been like, okay, if you focus on the upside, if you put a good plan together, the chance of success are not high, but they are there. When you look back on creating a co-working space that size, so 35,000 square meters, is probably one of the biggest in Europe at one location. There was one thing that we wanted to build that the real estate business did not have in our region, and that was a brand. They might think they have a brand, but they don't in that sense. So we started working on a brand. The last 2 years in Innovation Dock, I was coaching other entrepreneurs. So we had a program called Gründer Hub, and I would use the materials from Bill Olet, the managing director of the Martin Trust Entrepreneurship Center of MIT. Quite a long title. He built a workbook that he made at MIT called Disciplined Entrepreneurship. Really good textbook way of doing entrepreneurship. And a lot of these textbooks from university are crap because they're so theoretical. But this is actually really hands-on. If you do step by step, you manage to get your company sort of focused on the right goals quite fast. So we used the tech type of thinking into the real estate business.
If you appreciated that, then click here for more content like this. Go on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well.